Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, you're going to meet a real-life business matchmaker. His journey just ahead.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, let's suppose you're in a B2B business and you're trying to reach those decision makers. Sometimes it's hard to make that appointment. You can send an email, you can call the place, but it's often really hard to get in front of your potential customer. To talk about that today, Rich Hollander. He's a business matchmaker, and he is the managing partner at Axcelora. Thanks for coming on the show.
Nice meeting you, Jeff. It's wonderful to be here. Great facility.
Thank you. I'm flattered. I was reading your bio. I couldn't believe this. So, former VP at Radio Shack, president at Buxton, president at Rent-A-Tire, vice president at MasterCard. Those are some big companies.
Yep, they are big companies. I've been very fortunate in my life. I also got to invent a retail concept called Incredible Universe, which we took from $0 to $1 billion run rate in 3 years.
Wow. Okay, so tell us about Axcelora. How do you guys work?
So when I was president of Buxton, my job was to help our salespeople make sales. One of the things I learned is you had to be in front of the customer to make a sale. So when you did that by yourself, it took a while. But if you did that with somebody's help, with a friend that knew somebody within that company, it became much easier. So when I left Buxton, I said, I wonder what else would be fun to do. I'm 74 years old. I don't think I want to ever retire. I like being involved in business. I like the aspect of business. So I looked at my assets and I said, well, I know a lot of people. What if I found a bunch of people that are just like me, that know a lot of people in business, would like to help those people that they know, and wouldn't mind helping out B2B companies that we have vetted that are interesting companies and companies that retailers and restaurants could use in their business operation. So that's how we created Axcelora.
We've got some just generic video of people shopping in retail, and Rich, I would make a case that your business is more necessary now than ever, especially as we head into what's supposed to be a recession, because if salespeople are not making those appointments, they're not making sales.
That's right. Retail today is very complex. It's not like when I started where you simply had buyers go. In my case, I was with Radio Shack, go around the world looking for consumer electronics that was interesting. It's much more than that. With all the direct-to-consumer channels that are available to the retailer to sell their products through, it just becomes much more complex. And the behind-the-scenes tools are more complex. Additionally, even just in the brick-and-mortar part of the business, there are things and tools to help consumers or help the retail stores and the front office work better with their customers.
And I'm not asking you to give away your secret sauce, but essentially with these 300 really top-level retail and connection experts, you're able to leverage their network to make those appointments?
So clients come to us, and IBM's not a client, but we'll just use IBM. Say IBM needed to speak to Macy's and needed to speak to the CIO at Macy's. They would come to us and say, Rich, can you help us do that? So we have about 300 people that look like me. They're all, let's say, over 50. They're all well connected into the retail and restaurant space, also some in hospitality as well. And we would go through our database of who they know, where they know these people from, and how well connected they are. And then we reach out to them and say, would you like to help IBM reach out to the CIO at Macy's? And somebody would say yes or no. Again, Macy's not a client, but that's just an example of how this works.
No, it's a great formula, and I can see it becoming very, very popular, especially as sales teams are struggling to sell.
Right, and what it does for our partners, so that's what they call people that look like me, we call them partners. What it does for our partners is they're retired or getting close to retirement, but they want to feel purposeful in their life. I can't imagine being 65 years old and sitting around and say, I'm going to retire, which in my mind says, I'm waiting around and I'll keep myself busy till I die. You know, that is just not how I perceive life to be. So by us being more purposeful, or giving our partners a chance to be more purposeful to help a company be successful, it makes their life better.
Sure.
And that to me is the key to living a long life and living a successful life.
And I think one of the things that we're experiencing, especially with the younger generation, is this stick-to-itiveness. In order to be good at sales, you got to be good at rejection. And if you got a trophy for showing up, it can hurt getting like 100 doors slammed on you, can't it?
You know, I can tell you I've been married 51 years, or 50 and a half years, and this is, the next time I'm told no will not be the first time I've been told no in my life. You know, and so we help people with that, but mostly, it's so difficult today to get in front of a decision maker. One of our clients was speaking to someone that was in a high marketing position at Home Depot. And she said every week she'll get over 100 inquiries or calls into her office suggesting that they can help Home Depot rule the world of one way or another, or save money, or do this or that. She doesn't listen to those. And some of them could be very useful. She just simply doesn't have the time. We're able to go in and only take the best of the best and only give the best of the best to our partners or our potential partners to go talk to their friends about. You know, it's at the end of first quarter of next year, we'll probably have helped people generate $200 million in revenue for their companies. Last time I looked, 200 million was a number. You know, it's better than $12.
Absolutely, and I know you're a popular guest on podcasts. We have a video of a recent podcast you did, and I love the way that you give away the gold. It's not like, hey, if you hire me, I'll tell you what to do. You're very generous with the advice.
Yeah, there's not. I remember Stephen, really smart guy, works. Three Stanford grads in computer science built Locate AI. They had no idea about geography. So why not help people be successful? You know, it's learning to listen. It's learning to actively listen, which is different than just listening. And it's being tenacious enough to say, okay, if there's a wall there, should I go around the wall? Should I go over the wall? And all those things are things that I learned at retail. You know,
right.
Retail's a great place to teach you how to deal with customers. My wife and I believe that every human being in the United States should have to work either in retail or restaurants where they're dealing with consumers, because they'll be much nicer. And you know, Jeff, you and I spoke about my Pollyanna theme of running a business. If you haven't seen the movie Pollyanna, it's from 1960. You should see it, and it's all about the power of being nice. And at Axcelora, we have one rule, and only one rule, because I don't really like rules in general, and neither do my partners. So we have one rule, and that rule is everyone has to be nice. If you're our client and you're not nice, and sometimes we're going to make mistakes. Nobody's going to do it intentionally, but if we do, just say, you know, Rich, that's not how we want this done. Can we work on it another way? Or how about this idea? But we have to be nice about it. So our customers have to be nice, our partners have to be nice, and we have to be nice to each other. And I know that's very unusual, but I need to tell everyone that's listening to this is a secret. And it's not a secret anymore because I'm telling you. When we tell prospective clients that we have this Pollyanna culture and that everyone has to be nice, you can see them visually change their posture, their breathing rate, how they think about what's going on in this meeting. And they also always say, wow, that is really impressive. And who knew that was going to be? It was just the people, my partners and I are all in a situation in our lives where we're working because we want to work. We're not working because we can't afford lunch. And we're in that situation where we said, we only want to do business with nice people. And it has worked out for us in a wonderful way. Are we perfect? No. But it's a nice rule to live by.
Well, you have inspired me. I'm going to go back and watch that. Okay, so final thoughts. How does a CEO who might be watching this know when to bring in a guy like you?
If your team is having a hard time getting in front of prospects and prospects that are decision makers, then you ought to chat with us. We are very selective, and we're fortunate enough that we can be very selective of who our clients are. And that goes back to our Pollyanna theme. We're as interested as we are in new clients, and who isn't, we're also interested in new partners. If you're in a position in your life that you need something else to do, and this is not going to make you rich, it's not, but it's going to make you rich. You will get paid nicely, but it's going to make you rich in having a purpose. And those of you that we want to talk to all know what I'm talking about. And those of you that we don't want to talk to, we'll say, he's nuts. And you'll probably be right, but we'll continue along our little path.
Wow, you have been a great guest. Thank you for sharing your Pollyanna vision with the world. We're going to end with the website, which is Axcelora.com. Rich Hollander, thanks for coming on the show.
Well, thank you.
That's it for now. We'll see you next time.